just stop complaining and just sacrifice a little bit. Stop making excuses, because there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason why you can't do something.
You're listening to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast, where we talk about anything self-improvement from the nerdy perspective. I'm your host, Joshua Salgado, and today we're going to be talking about something impromptu. So I woke up at 2:45. It's currently like 4:15, 4:20 this morning, and I can't sleep. I'm struggling to put down caffeine. Honestly, this morning could be a kind of a shitty morning, but what I did is I already showered. I already did my 5 gratitude, bullet points or notes for the day that I'm trying to be a little more gratuitous in life. And I have my power list already made for today. So I'm already on the foot, and now I have an hour or two to crunch out some stuff and push the clock forward. And push not necessarily the clock, because time we don't get back. Time is something that just happens. Push the counter. Push the productivity. Push what really matters is getting things done. And I'm making this video. This is like 10th take. Making this podcast episode as a little extra freebie. I might start doing that, because oftentimes in life, and I do this, we have, a flat tire. We have, oh shit, I forgot to put the clothes, in the dryer, and it's the morning, and now I don't have any clothes, and I don't have my uniform for work. Whatever it is, we always have things that go wrong. And if you have the things that go wrong and you don't take it as an opportunity, okay, we're going to sidestep real quick. I had this boss when I first started working sales at the gym that I still work out. I'm not in the sales department anymore. I just do part-time stuff. But she always would say everything's an opportunity. So when you didn't get a sale, when a lot of times, especially during that year, we had big snowstorms where the powers would go out and big rainstorms where the power would go out, and we'd work for an hour or two until the big boss would call it. And, she always said everything's an opportunity. So we always took the opportunity to train. We would have dead times. Take the opportunity to train, meet, see what everybody else is doing in the sales world. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but everything is an opportunity in life if you make it an opportunity. And that shitty morning that you're having, if there's some way you can turn it into an opportunity, and it may not be actually doing something productive that's pushing your dream forward. It may just be turning it into a way to get a little bit stronger mindset. Because I'll be honest. I've had rough days in this, long days, tiresome days in the service where you're beat up. We're huffing jet exhaust because we're in the back loading while engines are running, deployed, kind of stressed out because you're like, this place is kind of sketchy. I don't know where I'm at. It's dangerous, whatever. I've had days where long flights where I'm just cranky, tired. Your bowel movements are all fucked up. Your time's all fucked up. Like, let's be honest. You're tired. You're beat up. I ran on the beach you saw a few weeks ago, guys, and I hurt my ankle, so I haven't been able to work out. Like, there's times where things are going to be shitty, and sometimes just embracing it and turning it, just saying, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to make this a positive, even if it's not actually something tangible. But I think there's a beauty of taking a potentially shitty situation or something that could turn your day terrible, and we'll talk about that in a second. Turn your day terrible and turning into opportunity to grow bigger, opportunity to get better, opportunity to become somebody that you want to be. Like if you're trying to fitness-wise, let's say you work out every day, after work, and you wake up early like today, and this would have been a perfect time to go on a run if my ankle wasn't fucked. But that being said, turning even the small stuff, because that's the stuff that piles on. That's the small stuff that throughout your day, if you're not being aware of, my day's kind of happening, like there's shit's hitting the fan today, but I'm going to still have a good day. If you're not aware of that, it's going to paint everything else terribly. And that everything else could be the opportunity of a lifetime. It could be having, making a new connection. It could be pursuing your dreams better. It could just be the most productive and the most intellectual, the most physical. You could be hitting a PR because of just having that positivity, even if you're tired. Some of the best days in the gym have come from when I don't feel like working out, when I feel like shit, I'm sore, my joints suck, didn't get this good sleep last night before, and all of a sudden something clicks and the adrenaline pumps, whatever it is, and I hit a PR, or I'm working out really hard and it's just the best gym workout I've had, and it builds up that momentum. And I want to kind of get into, the management side. Like, I've realized this morning that if I wake up early, my time is not being pulled by anybody else. Let's break down a little bit of how our if you imagine a pie chart, and you have your personal relationships, those are like your friends. You have your family relationships, those are your family. You have your romantic relationships, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, you whatever. And then you have your job. That's like 70 to 90% of your time and energy is going to be put into your 9 to 5. It's going to be put into your craft. And for a lot of people who are very blessed, they have a job they love, or they're pursuing their dreams, working on it, with their 9 to 5. Like their 9 to 5 is their dreams. But for a lot of people, not everybody wants to be working in insurance claims for the rest of their life. Not that it's a bad gig. I've never worked it. It's just kind of a random 9 to 5 that I thought of. That'd be very administrative, very job oriented, office oriented. When you realize that the little time that you have for yourself, and then you start putting in perspective, you're on this channel, you listen to these podcasts because you obviously want something more. You want to be better at whatever it is. You want more time to become better at something. Excuse me. When you start realizing how little time we have on this earth, and after you do all your budgeting of time to everybody else, I think I did a podcast talking about how time is the greatest asset of all time. And I will stand by that you leverage time. You give yourself 20 years to do something, you'll probably get pretty fucking good at it. But oftentimes what people say is like, oh, you don't understand. I got so much going on, especially people with kids and I get it. I do get it. But also it's like, how bad do you want something? How bad? Like for me, now we're building the brand. We're growing on the social media side. We're working on a graphic novel, and there's a lot of moving parts that I need to consistently keep doing to actually make these things happen. It's not just like, oh, I say it and then it happens. And so I can only imagine how much harder it would be if I had kids and the whole shebang, and I had a civilian job on top of my job in the service, and then even school. I understand. I get it. There's not much time. But again, it's like you have to sacrifice sometimes. You have to just take a small ample of sacrifice just to be better, just to get further. And especially in opportunities like this, you can't sleep. Okay, what's going to happen if I don't get that? Force myself to. Either way, I'm getting shitty sleep that doesn't count. So if I stay up tonight, tonight or this morning, all the way through the day, and I work a little bit extra on my dreams and then go to work, I'm probably just going to go to sleep and get better sleep tomorrow or tonight. Like, the reality is just take the opportunity when it's there. That shitty opportunity. Oh, shit, I'm in traffic. Okay, well then put on a podcast on something that you've been wanting to do, a fitness podcast or philosophy podcast. Maybe you're trying to make your own graphic novel. Maybe there's people who make podcasts. I haven't really searched into that world, but you get what I'm drifting. You get my drift. I am terrible with my words today. You catch my drift. Stop making excuses. And that sounds so stupid from the guy who's going to college and in the service and doesn't have a family, doesn't have the whole shebang, everything perfect. But, there's times where I get out of work. I had a long day flying. I felt like shit in the air. We're getting thrown around. I'm beat up. I hit the gym, and then I come back and work on my shit, and also still give time to my girlfriend, spend time with the dog, cook a healthy dinner. There's days where I am on point like that, but I'm exhausted. And those are the days that I make the most strides in different aspects. Maybe it's my fitness. Maybe it's a personal brand. Whatever the fuck it is. And just stop complaining and just sacrifice a little bit. Stop making excuses, because there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason why you can't do something, and there's always going to be a reason why you can do something. But there's no pride in saying, oh, I couldn't do it because I had, no time. Like, no one gives a fuck, okay? And I'm going to be a little brutally. Just do something. Sacrifice a little bit. Wake up a little bit earlier. Stay a little bit late. There's nights where I've gone to bed at 2 a.m., woken up at 6 a.m. Gone to bed at 2 a.m., woken up at 5 a.m., editing videos, working on the website, working on designs. Like, there's times where I've spent a Friday night. I've had a Friday off, let's say, and I'm thinking about it because it was not too long ago, and I've woken up at like 6, 7, 8 a.m. if it was my day off, and all the way until 2 a.m. And obviously there's breaks for food, there's breaks to take the dog out, there's breaks to go to the bathroom, but I'm like working. I get up, do my shit, come back. There's going to be those days, and you just need to make the sacrifice if you want something. It's fitness, business, personal relationships, whatever the fuck it is. Let's take a moment for personal relationships, because that's something I don't talk about too much. But sometimes you're going to need to sacrifice how you feel to be there for a friend, how you feel, oh, I don't feel like going the extra mile for my girlfriend. Fuck you. If you want to have a fulfilled life, then go the extra mile. If you want to make your partner, you want to make your family, you want to make your friends happy. And I don't mean be a people pleaser. What I mean is provide value to them from your heart. then go ahead. Take that sacrifice. It doesn't matter what you feel like. Feelings are intangible. I didn't feel like waking up this morning. I just wanted to lay in bed and sulk. Like, if you want me to be fucking honest, I wanted to sulk about how I wasn't able to sleep. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to wake up and work on the fucking business. And I don't mean to get so heated, guys, but the truth is that you need to just make a chance to go forward. And when I mean you, honestly, you want to be honest, I'm kind of talking to myself. This is kind of my pep talk this morning, is get after it. Like, actually push towards your dreams, because I could sit there in the self-improvement, mental masturbation mindset of, oh, I'm doing this, I'm going to do it, and then never do anything. Or just take the bite, move the sore muscle, rip the Band-Aid off, wax the hair, whatever saying you want to come up with, and actually just do what it is and shut up and do it, and stop crying, making excuses, or saying you're going to do something, and actually do it and make strides forward. Find the things that you need to do to push the day forward. So that is my TED Talk. This is kind of an impromptu podcast. There's no planning. There's no organization. This is kind of me with not enough caffeine yet in my system. I want to thank you guys for listening. Please do subscribe down below. We're trying to build the YouTube channel. The more subscribers that we can get, the more engagement that we can get, the better we can build this brand, have better topics, connect with more people on the podcast, and really start focusing on growing. And this isn't just YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple, like 20 other different platforms now, trying to grow the brand and get some amazing people on and hear their stories. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Peace.
Thank you for listening. Consider absolutely smashing the subscribe button for more content like this.